Hey guys, what is up? It is Zach Juice, and I'm trying my new Evolsaur deck. It's the Elias build. The Elias build is inferior to any level 4 build. Currently, it might become better with the level 6s that come out, like Constellar guy. Um, so yeah, I've been actually kind of liking this deck. Jirac Attack came out, or it hasn't come out yet, but it's been announced. And I always hit the wrong one to Diplo. That always makes me mad. But that's like a blind MST. You always hit the wrong one. But and he fucking mains triple failure. It's really annoying. But yeah, pretty much with this deck, you sit there and lose until like you get off some evo-force najasho play that makes you win. That's every single game with this has been. And that beehive, or that's not beehive. That's the other one. That thing is annoying as hell. And right here, I tried to get off a thingy, but he has the second torrential, which sucks. And at this point, I was like, wow, I'm going to lose. I'm at half my life points. I have nothing. But don't worry, guys. I pull through. So I was like, ooh, like I said, you lose until you get the evo-force najasho. And so I get the evo-force najasho off. Too bad I didn't have a Jirac attack at the time. Well, the point of this deck when I first built it was to sack Jirac attack. But now it's like to do this. But well, actually, it's still just sack Jirac attack because that's the point of this deck. I sent out Volcano first just to get him negated with Valor, and then I sent out the Elias just so that he didn't negate that one with Valor. And yeah, right now I'm in a pretty good position because he doesn't have like a card like Compulse or a card like Compulse or Dimensional Prison to stop my Solda because that's one of the main ways to get rid of it. So I'm in a pretty good position. If he has like Dark Hole, he loses his monsters. And I was like, damn, Chaos Sorcerer. But then I was like, oh wait, nope, not damn. And then I normal summon Diplo, and at that point I could make Logia and stuff, so yeah. And from this point, he summons Pollux and gets first turn Omega out. And I thought Omega was whenever it was destroyed by spell and trap cards, but Omega is just unaffected by them in general. And see, this is why you don't run the Elias build, because you need to run at least 4 level 6 targets to be pretty good. And, oh wait, yeah, he just opened up nuts in this game. That's the reason he won that part. See, look at that. He had Monster Born, and then he added like that back to his hand, so even if I did get a second Caius, and at this point I was like, okay, I can set the book, I can book the Omega, but then I realized, oh wait, that's just whenever. And he had BLS Gores, all that shit, so it didn't matter. And, like, I show him right here that Jurassic Impact is the only reason I would even consider playing this deck. Because Solda isn't affected by Jurassic Impact, and I think that's the purpose of it, actually. Because they wanted to make it so that it's above Logia, and they wanted to make it so it's below, I don't know. But right here, I open up so much fucking Diplos, and it sucks because he's set to. And the purpose of Diplo is so I don't have to run MST. And I always hit the wrong one, like I said before, and now I have a dead Volcano on the board doing nothing. Oh, yeah, oh wait, no. Yeah, he had the second Torrential. That was it. So he gets, like, this shit out. And right here he makes Tyrus, which I think if he would have made the rank 5 Constellar thing, that would have been a little bit better in this situation. But I guess since he didn't know what my back row was, yeah, it was better that way. And so, yeah, I'm not going to set any more Call of the Hunt. It's just because Tyrus is just going to pop him. It's going to be annoying. Yeah. I open up so much Evolsaurs, and I have no Evol tile plays. So it's just, like, too slow right now. And right here, I finally get a break with a little bit of something. But it's probably not going to matter in the end. I'm not sure how I feel about post narrations. I already know what's going to happen, and I always spoil it because I don't know how to like not spoil it. And if you saw it right there, that was like really slow. But right here, I was like, okay, Tyrus has 17 defense, so we can just go ahead and switch to defense and attack over it. But he has the Valor, and right here, I asked him if he has like triple Valor. And right here, I decided not to say the Maestro because he could have a Chaos Monster in hand, and he could just attack the Sangan into my stroke and search out something that he needs, and then summon a Chaos Monster and banish something. So that would be kind of bad. So right here, I was deciding whether to Dark Hole or not. Um, I already used all my level 4 Evolsaurs, so I can't make like a rank 4 right now. And he attacks the one I didn't want him to attack, but that's fine because I end up getting an Elias, and Elias is just going to summon the Tyrus. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's names. And then I can make Constellar this guy. And this guy's going to add a Volcano to hand. It may sound weird, but I didn't really have any good targets on the field to send back to hand, and I thought it'd just be better to get a +1 off it while I can and set it to make najasho Emerald next turn. And right here he has the Trag, so I'm thinking of all the plays he could do. The biggest one would probably be some sort of Chaos Monster like BLS or Chaos Sorcerer, but I don't actually think he ended up having it. He has this thing, and I was like, okay, he's going to make a Leviathan, detach Sangan, um, and summon Chaos Monster, but he mixes Zenmains, and at this point, it showed me that he didn't have Chaos Monster, because he would have went for a Leviathan detach. And then, in phase, he destroys my Constellar, which I feel is pretty obvious. And he ends up making a Beehive, which was a bit of a misplay because I have really no answers for Omega. So right here, I guess what he thought was this thought process that was that he had his Zenmains, so he couldn't do anything. But yeah, that didn't work out. So right here, gonna go ahead and shuffle up some of my Evolsaurs back in my deck. Mostly Volcano, just because Volcano makes the rank 4 plays. I grabbed the Heavy Storm, which I'm not going to use it yet because I don't run MST, so Heavy Storm's a really important card in this deck, and you shouldn't just waste it on anything. I attack the Zenmain so that it doesn't live, and then at this point I have Heavy Storm to get over his back row, which he ends up Solemn Judgmenting it. I forgot what the other back row was, but it must have been pretty important because he saved it. But right here I turn that back to the extract. That's and a bunch of Volsars, as you can see. I kept one Najasho in grave, one of pretty much everything in the grave that I need, and yeah, it ended up working out pretty well just because I ended up monster borning Najasho, and yeah, he torrentials it, so that was the purpose of setting that. So he grabs Pollux, and I was like, okay, he's gonna like try to normal summon like a Pollux and then a cost and attack for game, but he ends up not having the cost. So what I do from here is, okay, he must have Honest if he didn't do that play. So I tribute for Najasho, or Elias, to set it, because the Elias only has 100 attack and I'm pretty low in life points. So I get Volcano, and I was like, okay, if he has Valor, that's going to kind of suck. That's not necessarily going to be game. And I make my one Dolka just to get around that, and I have the Solemn Judgment for any spell or trap card answers he has. And he ends up not doing anything, because he gets the Gores and then some back row. Okay, like a Solemn Warning. Yeah, so I pretty much had it. Well, I didn't necessarily have it. He just kind of quit a bit early because I could only do 24 damage that turn, but I think next turn he wouldn't have had anything. Right here, he makes Sangan Tour Guide, and I opened up like a bunch of stuff. Like I said, one of the bigger inconsistent parts about this deck, he opens up Heavy Storm again. That was kind of unfortunate. And right here, I have to he attacks over all that stuff, and I have 3 of my best cards in my deck in my hand right now, but no way to use them, so it's kind of unfortunate. So it's like, okay, he's gonna make the tires. I can just Solemn Warning that, do that. But then he summons BLS, and I was like, oh, well, I'm still alive, so I have to Heavy Storm because I can't risk him having an answer in back row. So yeah, and if he also has a Valor, I lose at this point too. So there's a lot of cards that can just make me lose at this point. I have to look at my extra deck for like a while. And yeah, I was like, okay, what play can I do? Because I knew I was going to make my stroke in some way. And then I remembered I had a Volcano engraved from, or Diplo engraved from early in the game. So I can make a rank 4 and a rank 6 with the Monster Born, in combination with the Monster Born. So I summon a Volcano, use Volcano's effect to grab Diplo, overlay, and before I make the rank 6, I check if the Mystric plays okay. Setting it, and then I summon use cost effect, make it level 6, to make Constellar, And then with the Constellar effects, I decided not to bounce anything on his side of the field because I didn't really think it'd be helpful because he had the Sangan, and sending that back to hand would be not useful. But he ends up having the mind control. Yeah, he ends up bouncing that back to my hand, and it turns out I only had 800. I didn't realize it at the time. I was like, okay, he's gonna do main phase Monster Born, Be Reborn, BLS. I'm not sure if I have any draw out of any plays, and so yeah. This point, it's a deck profile. I'm gonna pause it real fast so that I can do stuff. Okay, guys, so here's the deck profile. I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to get rid of one of the Dragon packs, one of the Westlows, and yeah, I'm going to get rid of a Westlow for a Shogo because I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but you can set that and then special summon a najasho from your deck. So I thought that'd be pretty interesting with all the tributes I run. I got rid of Book of Moon too because I'm not really going to be using it to abuse with Westlow anymore. So Book of Moon just kind of lost its purpose. And Jurac Impact is not as sacky as I thought it was because you just don't draw it, I guess. So I decided to get rid of that too. And I add in two-dimensional prisons just randomly, just because I don't really have much back row to answer things. Um, I never drew Spirit Reaper any of the games, which I thought was kind of unfortunate because Spirit Reaper I think would have been good in a lot of the situations. But oh well. So right here, just got two-dimensional prisons, and yeah. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think about the deck. It's pretty cool, I guess. And whatever, guys, I'm out.